class this is the first death live class. So I will be starting class in 3 minutes, okay? So see you back here in 3 minutes. I'm gonna have some music on. So that way when everybody gets their notifications, they'll be here probably in 3 minutes, okay? So see you then, all right? Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. I hope you are doing well. Okay, I'm going to be discussing in this live first death class all about what death is from a mystic oracle healer perspective. Okay, I hope you have your journal, something to drink like some water, and something to write with, your ears open, and you being open to what this class will bring you. It's not going to be a long class, okay? We don't do long classes here, okay? Because this is start getting down to the basics, okay? So hi there in the chat too. Casey Barry and Hannah does nails. Glad you can join me. So, what this class is going to teach is you will never lose your way, for all paths lead back to home, and your unseen spirit guides and your spiritual source guide you throughout your whole life as a human being, okay? I have my journal out for this class, so I'll be reading from the notes and everything that I made for this class, okay? Also, this death class is going to teach you about what transformation, endings of old cycles, all that stuff. So if you're like thinking that this death class is all about people dying and all that, no, it's not. Okay, this is broadening your perspective, giving you upgrades and stuff that you need. Okay. So here is a process you can do in order to honor your creative force when you're going through an ending of a cycle, a transition, okay? So you can do this at any time, all right? It's called knot magic or knot and crochet magic. Weave together strands of wool or cotton, organic thread in colors of red, orange, or yellow. You can either weave it into your hair, braid it into your hair, or you can make your own keychain so you can wear it, okay? Use this skill that resonates you, whether you want to crochet, knot, or net it. Bind these threads in your own hair and wear for blessings of fertility in body, life, and soul, okay? So that's one way to honor your creative force while you're going through an ending, because this is showing you how you're creating your own practical movement of taking care of yourself and how you're weaving that magic by doing practical steps, okay? Magic looks different to everybody, okay, and has a different definition. Not the Hollywood magic that I'm talking about, okay? So, what you need to learn is that the death energy is teaching you how to put family first and let someone get a little closer to you, okay? Especially if you're dealing with, people that have passed away or honoring people who have passed away in your life. Right now, in my tradition, I'm doing Day of the Dead from October 31st to November 2nd. So that way I honor the people that pass away. Now, if you're going through ending of cycles and stuff, this is really good to always go back to square one of knowing that you have a support system and that you can allow somebody to get close to you so that way you feel supported around the time of going through any kind of ending in your life, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's feeling down in the dumps, depressed, you know what I'm saying? Or anxiety and worry, okay? Also, this death energy is teaching you it's time to review your goals. Finally, meditation to banish insecurities and clarity to bring peace and answers, okay? So that way you're fostering and investing in yourself and completely moving away from that old cycle. They call it death, change, and transformation, okay? So here is the wisdom that you need to learn. Embrace a rebirth and a transformation, knowing that every ending is a new beginning, okay? That is the wisdom that you need to know. And don't forget, okay? Because you're here to experience what it's like to be a human being, including these kind of things that go on in life: change, rebirth, and transformation, okay? So here is a spiritual process in order to honor yourself in such a different way, so that way you're cleansing your mind and your body so you're ready for this new phase that you're in. You can do this spiritual process at any time, okay? So that way you feel empowered, you feel cleansed of what was, so that way you have the clarity and balance you need to what lies ahead, okay? It's called Honor the Ancient King. Stand with your feet hip width apart, knees unlocked. For some of you that can't do it, you can sit with me because I'm sitting right now, okay? Make sure it's on lower level, downstairs, or outside where you're touching the ground, okay? While you do this. Feel the connection to your body as you imagine by closing your eyes. Feel or intend that your energy is now vital, golden, and luminous. It shines out from your heart and creates a potent field of divine light within you and around you in all directions. 3 breaths in and out. Now, within this light is the roar of a divine lion of truth. Even if it seems silent, viewers, it can be felt, heard, and it takes divine effort and effect far and wide. Allow the sound and the field of light to intermingle and extend as far as you wish, even reaching beyond time and space, into the past and the future, into worlds beyond the physical. 3 breaths in and out. And say aloud, through the spiritual authority residing in my heart as the Christ, Lion of Judea, I cast out the darkness of negative influence. I cast it out of myself, of my loved ones, and my community. I cast it out of world events and future situations, wherever this sanctified spiritual authority extends. May all leaders submit to wisdom for the greatest good of all. Through the power of the Great Spirit of love, it is done. 3 breaths in and out. Now rest for as long as you need. Three breaths in and out. And you have completed your spiritual process, viewers. Thank you for joining me. Hi there in the chat to Sophia, and also hi there in the chat to Desire Jacobs. Glad you can join me from South Africa. Very cool. So you can do that spiritual process at any time, especially if you feel down in the dumps, okay? And if you need to know, as many times as if you need to throughout the day in order to feel uplifted. So here is the message of clarity. Focus your intentions and navigate decisions with clear insight and purpose. Through any ending may feel like death, but there will always be a new beginning, a promise of a new beginning, okay? So here's a letter to the students to this class, okay? Dear beautiful souls, from a mystic perspective, death is not the end, but a sacred transition, a gentle return to the infinite embrace of the universe. It is a moment of transformation, a doorway to new beginnings, and a reminder of life's eternal cycle. So I invite you to explore death's wisdom to find peace, release fear, and grow in love for yourself and humanity. So the mystic essence to death. Death is a sacred passage, a moment of surrender and a renewal that teaches us to embrace a transition. Death is a shift from one form to another, like a leaf returning to the earth to nourish new growth. It reminds us that change is a natural part of existence. It also teaches to release fear. Death invites us to let go of fear and trust in the internal nature of the soul. Your essence is boundless, forever connected to the divine. It also teaches to honor life's cycle. Death and life are intertwined, each giving us meaning to the other. By embracing this cycle, viewers, we live more fully in each moment. So here is a healing practice of death's wisdom ritual. The first step is called center. Find a quiet space, light a candle, or hold a small object that feels grounding, like a rock, or holding a piece of jewelry, all right? And take 5 slow breaths. Feel connected to the internal flow within inside you. Next step is called reflect. Ask, what fears or attachments am I ready to release to live more fully? And let your heart offer gentle answers. Okay? Third step is called intention. Speak or think, I embrace life cycles with peace, trusting in my soul's eternal journey. Fourth step, final step, is called act. Write down something you are ready to let go of, then burn or bury the paper safely, or simply offer a prayer of release, trusting in the renewal of it, okay? So here is a message of growth for all the students and viewers that are watching this at any point in time. Death is a teacher of love, urging us to cherish each moment and live with purpose. By embracing its wisdom, you free yourself to shine brighter, uplifting your soul and humanity's collective spirit. You are eternal, and every step you take in peace weaves healing into the world. Be the light that transcends any ending. Love and blessings, Mystic Oracle Mary. So this is a point in the class where I ask you 2 questions, and you can compile it into an email after you're done with all classes and send it to me for a free certificate of completion to these classes, okay? It's all free, so that way you can add it to your resume or your accomplishments. But we're going to have more classes in the future, so here are the 2 questions. What do you think death is to you? And all its painful yet gentle glory. Death to me is much more than it was 10 years ago, because my perspective and doing some upgrades and learning more about life and becoming fully empowered in my mystic oracle healing job. It's not really a job to me, it's just a wonderful thing I fell into, yet I wasn't really falling into. It was going through many transitions and transformations to get to this point. And this is my true life and divine purpose intertwined. So I always thought death was such a horrible thing. And I started learning more and more that what I was conditioned to and my perspective was very limited. So I had to learn that to let go of the fears of it and to really just put my time and my energy into things that were not stunting my growth, especially fear. And so it was a heavy cycle I had to break. And knowing more about death and nurturing, because one thing I notice, we all have different perceptions and definitions of what death is. So what I thought it was something horrible, and it was going to be very grueling and tiresome and depressing. So I tried to avoid the shadow aspect of it all. And in return, I landed up finding that learning about shadow work and learning about overcoming the whole definition of death and embracing more of transition and understanding that it's all needed and I shouldn't fear it. And it's okay to feel sad if someone does pass away. It's okay to honor those emotions. That's what makes you human, and recognizing that you have a lot of love within inside you about the person, about the situation, because death can also be of a relationship, of a friendship, of many things. It shows you how much you care of what you feel is important to you. So never discourage that, you know? So what death means to me now is completely different from 10 years ago. That I have grown so much of my perspective on death that I don't have depression anymore and go in my head about stuff that I used to be in a mental prison about, So that's what death means, is transformation, renewal, a rebirth. And it happens every single day of our life, more than we realize. This is why when people say, oh, people don't change, I laugh because I say that's so not true. You change every moment of every second of every day of your mind, of your emotions, how you move and groove with life. Okay? So with that new perspective on this class, hopefully it transformed you into seeing death. It's not of a horrible thing anymore. Second question is, what do you do to nurture yourself when you're going through a death, a transformation, a rebirth, and a transition? Me, what I do is I honor it in hermit mode. I've tried to do it out and about, and it's frustrating. And then I had to learn that sometimes you can't pick your moments sometimes. You have to go with the flow of, even if you're out and about, you got to learn how to remain balanced through it all. But yeah, when I know it's coming on, I stay up in hermit mode and I go through my rebirth and I have fun with it and my transition and everything in life. And I mean, what I do to have fun, I dance, I sing, I do artwork, I play music. I get those creative juices going so I don't fall into any kind of darkness of despair, sadness. And if I have a moment where something hits me hard, um, with inside me, in order to break me open to that next expression, I honor it in hermit mode. I honor it through my meditation. It's the very thing, what hits me is that blessing of a divine gift of grace. And so if you're going through any kind of heartbreak in this situation, where you're a male or female, through anything that is bringing you heartbreak, it's trying to get you to release that gift of grace, having that soft resolve so you don't harden yourself. And it's making me emotional right now because any human being goes through this. When you think you can be so hard on yourself or anything in life, there are moments. The reason why it's hitting you is to soften your resolve and to experience grace. Okay? So honor that. So grace is a big thing. It lets your ego finally just wash away. It allows you to be vulnerable and transition to the next stage. Can you remember those moments where that soft resolve got you through right back to home? So honor your ending of cycles, because what's coming in is something even better than you could ever think. And those are my two answers to the two questions. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to answer those two questions. Okay? And I'll be right back. All right? Thank you. All right, we are back. That was 3 minutes, so hopefully you have those answers to those two questions. You can email them to me when you're done with all the classes. okay, in order to get your certificate at maryj82002@gmail.com. That email is also down below in the description box, okay, in case you need to write it down later, okay? All right, so the next class is going to be the first teacher class. So if you're a teacher or a new teacher or want to become a teacher, it'll be on October 18th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and you'll get that notification. Now, the one after that, it is the first Divine Life and Divine Purpose class on October 21st, 2025 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? All you have to do is subscribe. Now there'll be a class 2, first leader and follower class. So if you're a leader or a follower, you'll get upgrades on realizing you can do both. And you have been doing both for a very long time, but you'll get upgrades in that. That class is on October 29th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, all you have to do is subscribe and you'll get that notification. Now the last class of October. Hello there, Rhonda Mooney. Love the name. Thank you for joining me. Now the last class is, viewers, the first water class, and it's on Halloween on October 31st, 2025 at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These are flexible with whenever you want to watch this, so subscribe, you'll get that notification. Now, if you want to join me at the classes, you can go to the class.live and you can post anytime you want. If you have any questions or comments down below in each and every class that you want to join and be participating, okay? So what's great is at any point in time you can earn this certificate, okay? Because I'm that flexible. And then I'll email you once that all 11 classes are completed. I try to keep these classes under 40 minutes, if that, or at least under half an hour, so that way it's not taking up too much of your time. But yeah, that's the end of the first death class. Really hope it helps you on your journey. And if you're like, but Mary, do you do something more than classes? Yes, I do. I do all zodiac sign and non-zodiac sign readings on Thursdays and Saturdays at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you subscribe, you're going to get that notification and you can watch it at any time, okay? And so that's it of the class. Please enjoy your journey and I'll see you later. Bye for now.